Well, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, now is definitely the time to get on it. The deadline is just a few days away. Financial professional Tony Zimmer from Catamaran Financial Group is here with a few last-minute tax tips to help. Thank you so much for joining us, Tony. And let's get everybody on the same page.
Sure.
We're talking deadline day here, Wednesday, correct?
Absolutely. April the 15th it is, as it is every single year. Whether you file electronically, you file paper, doesn't really matter.
Sure.
But midnight is it. Also, we always recommend that you file electronically. It's a lot faster, quicker, and safer as well.
Okay, let's talk about folks who are watching this segment and going, oh great, I know, I've got to get on my taxes. What's the first thing they need to do?
Make absolutely sure that whatever they have is correct.
Okay.
You got to get that return correctly because that's what triggers audits. And that surprisingly, there's two major things that cause these issues. One is that on their Social Security number, they transpose numbers, believe it or not. That's a major part.
Okay.
And secondly is just simple additions that are incorrect, transposing numbers there as well.
Okay.
So easily avoidable.
Right.
And if you don't, that's what triggers that audit.
Check and double check. These things that are so simple are so vitally important. Yeah. Okay, when should you go ahead and ask for that extension, and is there a penalty for doing so?
Right. Extensions, as opposed to what most people believe, they feel if they file an extension, they're going to have a big target on their back, you know, that and IRS audits and so forth. Totally incorrect. The IRS encourages that, and the reason is they want you to get the tax return correct. If you don't have a receipt, if you don't have maybe a 1099 you didn't get, you're just guessing, that's going to be a problem. So they encourage that. You file for that extension. You have 6 months in which to get it done. But keep in mind though, if you know that you're going to owe taxes, you got to make sure it's paid by April the 15th. So even if you're just guesstimating, in other words, you can't file an extension, then you owe money in October, you're going to pay penalties all the way back till April the 15th, penalties and interest. So prepay it. You'll always get a refund if you overpaid it.
Okay, there you go. What are the biggest pitfalls of waiting to file?
Well, obviously, if you're getting a refund, it's going to take you longer to get your money back. So that's obviously a major portion. But typically, that's really the main concern.
Sure. We talked about you're a big fan of filing electronically.
Oh, yeah.
If someone is, perhaps someone's never done that, and where do they go to file online?
Well, you can actually go to the IRS website. They have a free filing link that you can do that there. A lot of the tax preparation offices will file it for you, sometimes small fee. Sometimes, depending on someone's income, it could even be done totally free. There may be a little charge, but highly recommended. The other thing is also have it automatically deposited into your checking account. You do not want those checks to come back and sit in the mailbox. Between first couple of months after the 15th, the bad guys are out there. They're checking mailboxes, honestly.
They are.
That. Yeah.
That is bad news for sure. Last question for you. What's new on this year's form?
Well, primarily it's, you know, the dreaded Obamacare has caused a lot of people to file an extra form if they never had any health coverage before. Okay. They must file a form this year. That's the biggest thing. The other thing is that 401k limitations have changed to some degree. They do every year, but again this year. And also, the IRAs, that's it, that's the last one.
Oh,
sorry.
sure.
The IRA, you can only do a couple of rollovers this year as opposed to in the past you could do as many as you want. Now it's one rollover per IRA.
Okay, good to know. Tony, you're always a wealth of information. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here.